name is Gilles Fillion. I am from Montreal, Canada. I do work at Montreal, Canada as a freelance first, and then I do representative for Sonotechnique. So I'm doing the both job because we need to live. Huh? As you say, I am a street fighter and I choose to be a street fighter because it's a way of living. It is according with my way of living, you know. So I had a job at TV station for 23 years. So and there I was working. I did many jobs to get experience. At the end, I was working for news department. So I was in that street. I see myself as a director of photography, but I'm not the top of the director of photography. I know enough to be one of the guy who you can count on it. Okay? I've developed this experience because I had to do. Because I was, as I say, a street fighter, I have to look, I have to learn how to deal with people, to have a good image, how to deal with a lot of situations. So it brings me a lot of experience. So bringing that on a plateau, people can feel that I'm having this experience. So we can talk, and when I meet some director of photography who is very high in one, so we can talk, we can exchange, and there is a respect because you feel that I'm having that experience. So that's cool. I start in business production at 20. I didn't knew nothing about image. I was a little bit interested in photography. So at that time, I went to TV station, French TV station, TVA at Montreal, and then I get a job as a mailman. And then after that, I went to, you know, the guy who go in studio and bring props. So I was the guy who can bring props in the studio, and I was like looking around all the time and see, oh my goodness, what? Oh, so much light, so much thing, and oh, what is it? A big camera? Oh, I was impressed. And then after that, I thought, okay, I should learn photography more because if I can have photography, I will have other chance to grow up in that company. So I had a course. I go to Cégep. And then I learned photography, and then I became a film technician developer. So I had to process 16 millimeter film. I did that job for 5 years. So it was a kind of episode because I had to learn how to mix, les acids. Then I had to know the stop bath. Fixing, wash, and how the film pass in the machine, and the side emulsion, and then I had to learn densitometer because we have to learn how was the base transparency of the film itself, and then see the color, and then the argentic density of it and all that. So it was a quite experience, and it come a point where the laboratory has to close because we were going slowly in the video side. At that time, we start with the big camera with a cable and recorder aside. So I became an assistant. Okay, and I had to carry this big recorder, 3/4 inch recorder tape, with the battery and all that, behind the guy who was running to have a shot, and those people contribute to help me to get in the way to shoot, you know. One thing I did, and I didn't say that to the guy at that time, because there was you know, the old guy, 20 years of experience, and those guys were make a transition. They were from the film, and then they became in video. But what I did is, sometime I go in a small room, check out the camera, touch button, making out button on, and see what is that camera. At that time was a tubing camera. So then I learned a little bit, putting a light there, another light there, and at that time we were using that open face, color trend 600 open face. So, and we were doing news. So there was one guy there, Roger. He's having 70 years old by now, and he is always my mentor, because the way he is, and you know. So at some point, on one job, I was with him, I was following him, so he stopped in the middle of the event. Then there was a lot of people there meeting for, I don't know what it is, but it was an important meeting. And Roger said to me, you look at me like this and you say, do you want to go? Do you want to go? I don't understand. You say, yeah, take the camera, I'll take the I'll take the VTR. No. He said yes. And he was that kind of guy, very serious, you know, very imposing man. So he said nothing. He gave me the camera and said, go ahead. Oh my goodness. It was my first time with that guy. And I start to shoot and then stop, looking at him and say, am I okay? He say nothing. Go for it. It is your turn. So I did so. And I had a few experiences like that, and then I continued to study, take course, and at some point I became a cameraman for news, and I was a fighter, really a fighter. I was that kind of guy. Where trouble is, you can send Gilles, he'll be there to shoot. I remember I was doing a show, 911, calling 911, 911 en français, and it was a kind of police show, you know, cop show, and I was running with the cops, going in the street or in a bar after 3 o'clock and shooting people, trying to track this even the alcohol or drugs and anything all that, and I had to deal with the ambient light. You know, it's dark, so I had this light on the camera and moving, people yelling, I want to kill your light, don't shoot me, and all that, and you know, fighting to have this image. So at that time, Roger tried to teach me how to shoot without editing. Well, that's not easy, because you have to think wide shot, close shot, describe a shot. You have to go for the proof. At that time it was alcohol, so I had to find a bottle and all that, and atmosphere in general. And for that it was a good idea to do that, because guys in editing room, they had to go so fast, so they don't look, they don't compare the image. They see the image, they say that's going to be this one, that's going to be this one. So your focus has to be good, your exposure has to be good, your frame has to be good, you know. So, and you don't have a chance to redo it. It's happening now. So go for it. So, and after that, I became a chief of that department. So, and I create a kind of relation with technician guy to make sure that there will be a kind of bridge between our way to work and their way to see how they will fix the problem we got with the camera. So I made this bridge, and what I did, at some point I asked them, okay, I am 007 agent, okay? When I go in the field, I have to run, I have to fight. So I want you to see what I'm doing. So come with me one night and you understand why I'm asking you, please kill the back red light when I run, because if they see I run, I'll be it. So come on. So I did that a few times. So people were, oh yeah, you are doing this, you are doing that, oh for sure. So okay. And then after that, we create that bridge, and people like me were able to talk with them, and they established a good relation, and they were able to talk about back focus, technicals, some kind of technical problem and all that, and then it grows up and grows up. And at some point, I was, let's say 16, 15 years ago, I came to a point, so okay, am I gonna quit the job? You know, because for the news department, I had to do a big show, because sometimes we had an interview with the president, with the prime minister. So I have to light prime minister, I have to light personality, I have to learn how to light. For that, I went to okay. I have to observe what is happening in the environment, okay, around me. But I had to learn from school, so I went to USA sometime and getting workshop, going there for a week, learning, seeing big lights, seeing big crew, and learn and bring that in Montreal and say, okay, what am I going to do with that? And then I work, I learned that, taking workshop, because I wasn't able to go to school and having 2-3 years learning production, just doing that for 3 years. I wasn't able to do that. I had to get married. I had 2 children and all that, you know. So at some point, I took a workshop as a Steadicam operator. At that time, I am around 42, 43 years. By now, I am 59. So with all this learning I had, I say, okay, now I think I want to go freelance. So I jumped out of the train while it was rolling. I lose money. I didn't have it. They didn't want to give me money because I quit the job. So you will not be supported for that. You quit your regular job. So I say, I don't mind. I go for it. I buy a Steadicam, and then I start to talk about the way I shoot and the way I can handle light. But I was afraid to calling myself DOP, because in my mind, it is a very respectful job. As a DOP, so many people calling themselves DOP, and they don't know much about all that, but they love having the title. So it took me time, very long time, to accept the fact that I am now a DOP. I can calling myself DOP. But I pay attention, because I know when I meet a guy like Mr. Wigger or a few personality in Montreal, because there's a few good DOP in Montreal too. Oh, I know I am respectful fully for them. You know, when you sit beside a guy and you say, okay, let's take that lens for that frame. The action will be there to there. Oh, look at the eye line. So make sure that everything will be good, because we will not cut there, we will have to cut there, and all that kind of thing that make the image, give it image sense and a reason to be, and a kind of message in it. So I'm taking care of that. I pay attention. That's it.